it was a 4-day trial. They spent 1 day on Miguel Angel Jimenez Saldaña, who was the man that I was indicted for. They then introduced Miguel Angel Rodriguez Silva, who was a dope smuggler, who they had writted out, Johnny Sutton had writted out of prison, out of his prison cell in Pecos to come testify against me. They brought him with U.S. Marshal into the courtroom, sat him down on the stand, and the Marshal sat behind him the whole time because he was still technically in custody. I was not charged with anything in his case. He didn't make no complaint. He didn't file anything. We objected to it. Judge William Wayne Justice admitted the evidence. They spent 3 days trying me for the dope smuggling case that I had never been charged with to get a conviction on pushing this guy on the ground who had not a scratch on him, not an injury, hurt his feelings at the most. In both cases, the Mexican consulate was called. In the case with the narcotics trafficker, I notified my supervisors. I documented the incident. I took pictures of the guy, and they used my own information against me. The pictures that I took of his injuries, they projected on the wall right next to the jury. And the whole time that man was on the stand, they projected his image of him with his bloody nose. Three days later, during the trial, after 3 days, the verdict came back, and it came back guilty. I stayed out on bond, and I tried to figure out what to do, and we went to a Court of Appeals, and the Court of Appeals, during that, while we were there, I thought the grace of God had come over me because the judges in the Court of Appeals had told the government that they should review their cases before they bring the veterans and their agents to trial for something as frivolous as that. 3 weeks later, they wrote the exact opposite. I was in college at the time, and I was in the middle of a semester because I was out on bond, and the U.S. Marshals came kicking at my door. They came in, pushed my mom down on her bed. They came in about 5:30 in the morning and dragged me off to prison. In 2 years, I was sent to 5 different prisons. I started at Wackenhut in San Antonio. They sent me to Oklahoma City. I ended up in Coleman, Florida. When the Mexican population in Coleman, Florida found out I was a Border Patrol agent, I was surrounded by 20 to 30 Mexican inmates who wanted me to check myself into the hole, or they were going to stab me or jump me in the middle of the night. I told them I wasn't going to go into the hole. The phone, my liberty of having the phone and talking to my girlfriend and to my mom were the only things that I had. And they told me that in there I couldn't run away because I was locked up with them. I told the captain what had happened, the captain of Coleman, Florida, and he told me, well, you have a choice. You can stay out or you can go into the hole. So I just took it upon myself, and I wrapped my magazines that were sent to me. I wrapped them all around the inside of my uniform. Eventually I made a vest out of newspaper and tape to wear against me in case I got stabbed. And one day I woke up and they transferred me. They said, pack up. I said, where am I going? They said, we don't know. So I brought all my property to the office, and when I came back, my phones were cut off. I didn't know where I was going, and for 6 weeks, nobody knew where I was at. I was at the penitentiary in Atlanta.